Okay, hello everyone. So today we are going to look at finding equation of a line algebraically. Last time we used graphic method to come up with the equation of the line. All right. Now we don't want to use graph. We want to use algebra. So first, let's do a quick review. What is the components of the line? In terms of the equation, we talked about this before. We need a slope and we need y-intercept. The slope is right here. Y-intercept is right there. Those are the two very important pieces of information we need to draw a graph and to come up with the equation of a line in a slope-intercept form. So let's do a quick review. In terms of any given line, if you have 2 points on the line, the coordinate A, let's suppose that I make the coordinates x1, y1 for the point A, and coordinate for point B is x2, y2. I number them 1 and 2 subscript because the first point, the second point, it doesn't matter which one is first or which one is second, as long as I am consistent, and you have to be consistent. So what was the slope? The slope was rise divided by run. Excellent. So in this graph, I just gave you an example right here. The point A, B, they're on the line with these coordinates. So the rise is a difference value of the y2 and y1. So I have it set up right there, right? So I go up from point A, because that's the rise, to get the slope. And then I go across, that would be the run. And the run is a difference between the x values, and that's x2 minus x1. So if I can write that, so let's write that as a rise over run. So rise was y2 minus y1 over the run is x2 minus x1. So that's what we have, and that's what we're gonna do. All right, so that is your slope given any 2 points on a line. And by the way, this is called a slope point form of a line when you manipulate this. So I can actually manipulate this equation, and I can write it as, so I'm going to put m over 1, so I can multiply both sides by the lowest common denominator, which is x2 minus x1. I'll get m times x2 minus x1 equals the y2 minus y1. Okay, and in this case it's very easy. Once you have those coordinates, you plug it in them in this equation, which is the slope point form of the line, and then you just come up with the equation of it. That's one way to do this. So now let's use the points that we have. We're just going to plug it into the slope point formula or form, and then manipulate the equation and then solve. Okay, now here's the thing. First thing first is that you need to come up with the slope. That's what this is for. So we really easily we can come up with the slope, and we really don't need this. We just need m, which is right up here. This is your m, right? So actual m was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we can go ahead, plug the numbers in there, and then get the slope right away. So let's label first. That's x1, that's y1, x2, y2. Plug numbers in, very simple. So y2 minus y1. So y2 is minus 2 minus 4 over, so minus 2 is right here, that's y2, minus 1 is 4 right there, that's on top. X2 minus x1 in a denominator, x2 is 4 right here, and x1 is 1 minus 1. Do the math. Minus 6 divided by 3, that's minus 2, or minus 2 over 1, right? That is your slope. Great. Now that we have the slope, remember that the equation y equal to mx plus b, we needed to have the slope and we needed to have the y-intercept. All right, and in this case we also have a point xy on the grid. Actually, there are two of them we have. One is in here, one is in there. All right, let's rewrite. So what do we have? Y equals m is minus 2x and then plus b. All right, now we don't have b. B we do not have. We need to find what b is. Let me go back. Here we go. B, we don't have b. So in this case, what we need to do, we need to use one of these two points, A or B. It doesn't matter which one, in place of x and y. Okay? So in place of x and y, one of these points we can use, x1, y1, or x2, y2, doesn't matter, A or B. Plug it in there, and the only thing that we don't have is b. So let's choose point A, 1, 4. Remember, that's your x, that's your y. Or you can call it x1, y1. It doesn't really matter in this case because we're just using that point. So let's plug it in and solve for b. So 4 equals minus 2 times 1, x is 1, which is right here, that's x. I'm just replacing x by 1. And then plus b that we don't know, because we need to find it so that we can write the equation. Let's solve for b. In this case, we just do a quick manipulation. You'll get b equals to 6, because minus 2 times 1 is 2, and then add 2 to both sides to get rid of the 2, minus 2 for isolating b, and b equal to 6. So what does that mean now? Let's rewrite the equation. Y equals minus 2x plus 6. Now we got the y-intercept, we got the slope, and now we're done. This is how you do it algebraically. I did not use this form that most places, some classes, some teachers do use this, but I believe after 20 years of teaching math, this is actually gets a little bit more complicated at this level for our grade 10 students. Once you get grade 11 and 12, probably you can manipulate this better. But this way, there is an understanding of what's happening. We found m. Then you need to find b and then rewrite. That's how it is.